Hello and welcome to another video. So you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. Today we are going to talk about lymphatic drainage, massage, plastic surgery, BBLs, and all the people who get massages or looking to get massages because they find themselves in one of those groups. We're going to have a conversation here today. First, I want to say this, that I know there's going to be a few groups of people who watch this video. Some of you may be like future massage therapists and you're looking to see how much coins am I going to make being a massage therapist? Because I know the girls are out here and they're getting all of these surgeries and they need all these massages. And I just see a bunch of money in it for me. Some of you are going to watch that and you're going to have that disposition and you're going to click off this video very quickly because you are going to gather very quickly that I am not the one to give that kind of information. I'm not on your side. You got that right now as I'm talking. Another group of people, I know they're going to be future clients of mine. And you're trying to see, does she do this kind of massage? What does she think about it? Can I come in? You know, I actually had a few botched surgeries myself. My back is hurting. Can she help a sister out? Some of you are going to be those kind of people. And some of you just spectators. Some of you guys see people getting all of these surgeries and there is a truth that you do know, but you haven't spoken out about it. And perhaps you haven't spoken out about it. Let me not beat you up. Perhaps you haven't spoken out about it because it's not something that the Lord has told you to open your mouth about, but he has told me to open my mouth. So today we are going to have ourselves a little conversation. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. Some people are going to be extremely upset and, while you're deciding if you want to stay and watch this video and hear what it is that I have to say, I want you to think about this. What benefit does this girl have to sit here and take money from her own pocket? You know that people are out here paying an arm and a leg. If you yourself have gotten this surgery and you need the massage yourself, you know that the massages are like the creme de la creme to the surgery. It's like the whipped cream and the cherry to the surgery. And you know that even before you decided that you wanted to get this surgery, you knew that you had to find a person to do your massages after the surgery. And can I tell you, there's a group of women who literally decide that they want to get into the field of massage, that they want to go to school to become a massage therapist because they're looking at people like you and they see money. So they're going to be very upset at this video. And you can, if the comments are on this video, you'll be able to see them down below talking about all. Just know the ruder the comment is, they realize that I'm taking their money. And not just their money, I'm taking my own money. And as a matter of fact, I don't even want the money. I don't want the money. I'm more interested in the well done, that good and faithful servant. But this thing has to stop. So you say, Tanzania, I've actually had this surgery and my back legitimately hurts. And I want to tell you that, yes, your back legitimately hurts. There's a few reasons for this. And the Lord was speaking to me very, very loudly about the reasons, some of the reasons that this thing happens. I have seen in my actual life. Remember, I've been doing this for a while. I wouldn't even say the people's names. I have done massages for some of the people who you be watching, who lured you to getting these surgeries in the first place that I knew nothing about. Some of the famous YouTubers, I've done their massages. And there's no need for me to go on and say anybody's name. There's no need for that. Back hurt. Your back legitimately hurts. I want you to think about this. And I know some of you might not know, but when you get to the place where you decide that you want to alter your body, a lot of the times you're already delusional. So someone telling you the truth, you simply don't want to hear it. But I urge those of you who can actually hear me saying the truth, like you feel convicted by the things that I'm going to say in this video, you take that conviction and you bring that conviction to God and say, Lord, what do I do with what I have done? There's one reason, and it's it's kind of common sense. The body does produce scar tissue when there is an injury to an area. So what these surgeons are doing, and you know, plastic surgery is not just for cosmetics. There's plastic surgery. Thank you, Lord. There's plastic surgery that people get when, you know, stuff actually does happen, like reconstructive plastic surgery. I'm not bashing plastic surgeons whatsoever, but some of these plastic surgeons think that they're sure enough God, and they have you thinking that you are the God of your life too. Bring in the picture. Show me what you want to look like. Like, this is completely asinine, but this is is what's being done. So when you take this cannula, it's almost like a needle that goes in, that does the liposuction, and you remove fat from an area, you're actually damaging, you're damaging tissues, you're damaging area as they move this cannula around, trying to get you as snatched as you want it. That's how they're out here giving it to you. And people have gotten their lives taken. I don't even have to sit here and tell you that. People who have lost their lives for a snatched waist. You know that they have. So the body is doing what it naturally does. And that is, like, if you get a scar, like let's say you had a baby and you had a C-section, you will have scar tissue from that C-section. If you have a fall hard enough and you get a scar, you will have scar tissue. And when I say scar tissue, I want you to think of scarring underneath the scar that you can actually see. So every one of the places that you have one of those holes from, like the liposuction. I don't study this stuff. I'm literally telling you what the Lord has revealed to me. I've never seen the surgical procedure done. I'm literally showing you what the Lord has shown me by way of the Spirit. I'm literally speaking to you by the unction of the Holy Spirit. So if I get the terminology wrong, either hear me or just be foolish and say, oh, she's saying the wrong terminology. So every one of these injection sites, there's a scar there. Well, everywhere you see a scar with your eye, there's actually scar tissue where you can't see. And who are we to say how far down or how wide some of the injuries, some of the scarring you can't see? I remember when I had my third C-section, the doctor commented on how much scar tissue was inside once she cut open. Well, guess what? My scar looked nice and tight and right. It didn't look like they had anything going on, but there was an issue beneath that I could not see. And of course, that issue limited mobility in certain ways. So there is a very real reason as to why some of you, most of you, I'm telling you, I've seen the women. And you're going to pay all your money to these people saying, oh, I get my massages regular. And you're not going to correct the real issue. And therefore, you're just going to be wasting your money and still walk away with a backache. So a part of that is like an injury to the site. And there's nothing that anybody can do about that. It's the body's natural response. Don't let anybody sell you any potions or lies and tell you that they can correct this thing. Even if you've heard of this with people who have keloids and stuff like this, even if you remove the scar tissue, guess what? The body is amazing and it will even scar over the removed scar tissue. Who's considering this before they sit there and get a surgery? Would you rather have a snatched waist? You're still unhealthy. A snatched waist and a hurt back, like literally back pain that just does not relent, so much so that you will be pouring out your money on these people. Which would you rather have? What would you rather fix the issue? I think we would rather fix the issue. Okay, I jumped off in there real quick because I'm very vexed. My spirit is so vexed by what it is that I'm seeing. Like I said, some people are gonna be mad because, I'm telling you the truth here. So let's move on into some of the points that I have here today. About the pain from the actual injury, the actual, Holy Spirit help me. We talked about the pain from the actual scarring of the tissue. There's also pain associated with the fact that you're changing something that you should not be changing. The Bible says that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. But you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You put, a little caveat there, a little addendum. You have an addition. You say, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, but I actually want a bigger booty. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, but Lord, my nose is actually too big. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, but guys like, a double D's and these are only B's. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, but, I had 3 kids and things ain't sitting where they need to be sitting. You have I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, but And therefore you are paying the consequences, the penalty. There's a penalty in your body. Thank you, Holy Spirit. There's a penalty that you're paying in your body for what you're doing. And I'm thinking, I did not intend to do this, but we're going to pull up, we're going to get scripture here. Okay. We're going to get scripture here because some of you have a sure enough problem. And those of you who are delusional about the problem that you have, you've already clicked off this video. So I want to encourage you, if you're still watching, to hold tight here. The Lord's going to bless us. Okay. The Lord's going to bless us. Hold on. So I want to go here. I want to go here to Romans, the 1st chapter and the 18th verse, because what I hear the Lord saying and what I just told you was some of you are paying the penalty for the fact that you're saying, yeah, God, you did it. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, but you could have changed this. There are consequences for that. So I want to read for you. We're going to start at the 18th verse. For God does not overlook sin. The wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men in their wickedness. Suppress and stifle the truth, because that which is known about God is evident within them, in their inner consciousness, for God made it evident to them. Everything about you. And I'm going to stop right here. Lord, help me, Lord, help me, Lord. I'm going to stop right here and say it's very evident that our bodies were created. And one of the things that the Lord highlighted to me is when you alter the breast, for instance, and if you got kids listening to this, just don't. Okay. If, for instance, when the breasts are altered, some of these surgeries that they're doing, they actually alter the nipple area. In the nipple area, there is extreme sensations in the nipple, but they're not just extreme sensations just to be extreme sensations. They're extreme sensations, one, because this sensation is actually how the baby latches on and gets fed by these breasts, which is what they're for, right? But there are many different, if we talk about, sexual relations between a husband and a wife, there are many different functions for our breasts that are evident. They're not mysteries. They're evident. In the right context when you're doing certain things. And people literally will cast all that aside just to have your breast sitting up in a position to be shown off to people who really shouldn't be looking at them in the first place. And tell me you don't have a problem. So it's very evident that God created our bodies. Everything works together. All of the things that work together. And I'm trying to stay PG here. And because all of them work together, it's very evident, like I said, that God created us. And you're sitting there and saying, no, you created me, but I can help you out a bit. I could design something a little better. It would have looked better if you would have put this here and did a little bit more of this. For ever since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood through his workmanship. Are we not the handy works of God? Through his workmanship, all his creation, the wonderful things that he has made, so that they who fail to believe and trust in him are without excuse. So all of the things are clearly evident and clearly seen, so that you'll be without excuse as to why it is you should be worshiping and serving only him. But you say, you know what? None of that really matters. None of that really matters. For even they knew God as creator. Even though they knew God as creator, they did not honor him as God or giving thanks to his wondrous creation. Thank you, Holy Spirit. On the contrary, they became worthless in their thinking, godless with pointless reasonings and silly speculations. And their foolish heart was darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory and majesty and excellence of an immoral God for images of worthless idols in the shape of mortal man, birds, and four-footed animals. Therefore, God gave them over in their lust of their own hearts to sexual impurity, so that their bodies would be dishonored among them, abandoning them to the degrading power of sin, because by choice they exchange the truth of God for a lie, and they worship and serve the creature rather than the creator who blessed forever. So for this reason, God gave them over to degrading and vile passions, and women exchanging the natural function for that which is unnatural, so sleeping with each other. And in the same way, men turned from their natural function to laying with women, to be consumed in their desire to lay with each other. So homosexuality again there. And where did this all start? This all started with a not acknowledging God as God and God as creator. And I know to you that might sound totally, how are you putting those two things together? Because he's a creator and he created you. So the moment you go changing something, moving something around, saying this thing right here is not quite like I want it, like it should be, you're messing around with his creation. And there's a penalty for that. And I'm telling you, a lot of these women walking around here, there's a penalty right now in their bodies. Look up some of the people, and I dare not. Look up some of the people when they first started these Brazilian butt lift injections. Look up some of the people who Satan literally lured to getting stuff like cement injected into their veins. A lot of people have lost their lives for this surgery, for a bigger backside. Imagine how silly. And who is the author of such foolishness? You have to think that to yourself. And if it is you, I'm telling you, the only reason that the Lord has me here is because I remember after the birth of my third child, I said, I'm going to surely need me a nip and tuck. And when I kid you not, I had to wrestle. I will link as many videos as I can to this video pertaining to what I'm talking about here right now. I had to wrestle that thing down to the ground for years and really get to the root of, why am I thinking like this about something that God created? God created my body in the way that I can carry children. Why am I upset at the aftermath? And I am by no means telling you to walk around and be unhealthy. I am by no means telling you to walk around overweight. I'm not, and then blame it on, well, the Lord created me this way. I am not telling you that, because you should actually be treating this like a temple. You should actually be treating this like a gift, this body like a gift that it is, until you leave it on behind and you leave on out of here. So the first thing we had was, pain from actually, the injection sites. The next thing I said was pain from the fact that you've been disobedient. You're doing your own thing. You're going against the laws, the premise that God has created. You're going against it, and there's a penalty for that. Remember those HIV facials? There's a penalty for that. So let's move to the next thing. And it's a structural issue. So I want you to think with me. Now, first of all, as I was looking at that to talk to you about it, first of all, the fact that you are looking at another woman's body, because that's where you got this idea from. My young daughter right now is not looking at her body saying, I really want to change this. And, this isn't quite big enough. She's not looking at it that way. So somewhere along the way, you got this idea and you need to figure out, where is it that it came from? And maybe you'll get a person, maybe you'll get a particular, maybe you was in a relationship and you were being fed this information about your body. Perhaps that was it. But let me tell you that all of these lies coming straight from one place, and that is the pit of hell. And I kid you not, when the Lord first showed this to me, it was a little over a year ago. He took me in the spirit and showed me. I have this highlighted for you on my website. So don't think I'm making this up right here, right now. At the bottom of the sea, these women were down there. They were in preparation to get a surgery. They were butt naked. They were smacking each other upside the butt. They were doing all kind of stuff. Meanwhile, I was being sent there to tell them you're on the way to hell, right? And remember the lady that I told you at the end of that vision, she was extremely upset with me. You know why she was upset with me? She was upset with me because the video that I'm making right now, I'm shining a light of truth on an area, and you can choose to hear it or not. Those ladies know that I was telling the truth. And sometimes, it's a little difficult to turn around, but you better get to turning, because all of this stuff comes from one place. I'm telling you, you sitting there and for what reason? For what reason? Ask the women who actually have, H-size breasts, how bad their back hurt. For what reason you would want to do this? Only one. It's coming straight from the pits of hell. and your allegiance to this that's coming straight from the pits of hell, guess what? You go there too. You go there too. I'm trying to help you here. So again, the next thing is a structural issue. Now I want you to think, let's say you're a 30-year-old woman and you decide that you want to get a surgery like this in your 30th year of life, where your body has had 30 years to acclimate to the body that is, okay? And everything, like we said earlier, works together for the body that God created for you. So you go changing it. I've said this before. Women who have bigger bums typically have a lot of other things. They typically have, bigger legs. They typically store fat in different areas. And I want to bring this to your attention as well. And like I said, I'm no studier of these things. These are things that the Holy Spirit revealed to me over time. That women who have who have more fat on their body, and I'm not talking about overweight, I'm talking about more fat. Because do you not know that women have extra adipose anyway for childbearing, but women who tend to have, they're a little bit more plushy. They have a little bit more curves. Their body is a little bit more curvy. Women like this actually are the same women who typically have more children. And why is this? Well, one of the reasons is it's a hormonal thing. So you're sitting here looking at somebody's body, envying somebody's body whose hormones is totally different than yours. A surgery won't change that for you. A surgery will not change that. The producing of these hips and all this stuff that you see is hormones do this. It's not just ask somebody who is extremely slender, who has tried to eat their way into curves. It does not work like that. So you're trying to get someone to play God when they can't play God. So like I said, a structural issue. You've had all your life for your body to be structurally sound like it is, which is why when women have like babies and things like that, you'll hear they have, back aches and all this kind of stuff. You know why? Because, my body has changed in 9 months. I've got some extra weight on me and now talk to somebody who gained, 40, 50 pounds and see how their back and their ankles and stuff feeling, because the body hasn't had enough time to acclimate to what you've done to it. But to go on and put this big old booty on, pencil legs, of course your back is going to hurt. Putting fat where it doesn't belong, of course your back is going to hurt. And when your back hurts, of course your neck is going to hurt. Of course you're going to be in pain. You look good, but you're in pain. So much so that you can't even drop it low and pick it up. So whatever you had planned for this surgery, you can't even do it because you're in that much pain. I've seen the ladies. And then you think that you're going to pay, $100-something for a massage and they're going to fix all your problems. It's not going to happen. You're going to fix your problems. You're going to get down there on bended knee and you're going to fix your problems. You're going to repent for what it is that you've done to your body and you're going to fix your problems. With the help of the Lord. With the help of the blood of Jesus, you're going to fix this issue. You are. So again, like I said, a structural issue. And I mean, it's just, can you hear what I'm saying here? Are you getting this? Are you understanding? Do you understand how deceptive, how snake-like Satan is? Get you thinking, you want to look like homegirl over there. And there's so many things that go into the shape of the woman's body. Again, I say one of the things is women who have more curves, and you can go look it up if you want to. I trust what the Lord has said. Women who have more curves, women who have more of a curvy body, they have more of one hormone or another. And I'm not going to sit here and say I know the hormone. It's probably estrogen, but I don't know for certain. They have more of it than women who don't have curves. And guess what? They also have more kids. So here you are trying to be a hot girl. And what you don't know is when you keep on laying down with these random men in sin, when you keep on laying down with these random men with your natural curves, right? And you have more of this. I'm telling you, look at your life. You know a woman right now. She has got a, body like pot out, and she got a lot of kids. It's a hormonal thing. And this woman, sure enough, need to be married. Or keep your legs closed. So you're trying to attract a whole mess for yourself. A whole mess for yourself. All for what? This is a question you need to begin to ask yourself. All for what? Because I'm telling you, at the end of that vision that the Lord showed me, when they rushed us all out of there, nobody was worried about how big their butt was. At the end of this thing here, in this here America, go watch some of them other videos. I ain't gonna bore you with it right here, right now. You're not gonna be worried about how big your backside is. You're not. And the only reason I'm sitting here and telling you is because the Lord has told me I better tell you what it is that he has told me. Or I'm gonna be in trouble. And I ain't trying to be in trouble because I didn't even get the bigger backside. Okay, this is you. So before I close, Tanzania, what you're trying to say, we shouldn't get no massages? I'm not saying that. I just told you that I am a massage therapist myself. I want you to get rid of the mind frame that any one person can fix anything that God has not fixed for you. Nobody can do that. They can call themselves healers, healing parties, healing whatever. They can say all those things. And God can say, I'm actually not healing anything because there has been no repentance. And because there has been no repentance, there will be no deliverance. And then you're just wasting all your money. You can go and enjoy a massage. You can go and enjoy a massage. You be careful about the person that you're choosing to do a massage, because we're going to go into some of the things that these people are out here doing, if the Lord allows. But this one topic specifically, he told me to speak about. We're going to talk about some of the things that they're out here doing. So I'm not telling you just go get a massage by any old body. And I'm not telling you to come to me. I'm not telling you that. Because guess what? If the Lord doesn't heal you, you won't be healed. Who am I? Who am I? So let's move to my last and final point. Go ahead and we're just going to close out this video. And I want to say this. I said all that. I'm saying all of this 100% in love. I want you to know that. If you're the woman who says, I actually already got the surgery, I already got the BBL, what this girl is sitting here saying is true. My back is hurting right now and nobody can help me. My back is hurting right now and nobody can help me. I want you to know that you can cry out to the Lord and he can help you. That he's still healing today, this day, he's still healing. Jehovah Rapha, he's still healing. He is still the God who heals. And if you're the woman who's thinking about it, you're looking at your body, you see your body in the mirror and you're just like, it's just not. I need to get me a surgery. I want to let you know as well that Jehovah Rapha, he's still healing, that he is still the God who heals. He's still the God who heals. And you can repent and you can turn back. Before you're like one of these women who are sure enough, it's almost you look at them and their eyes are glazed over. They have left. They have vacated the premises. And hell awaits those women. And I don't want it to be you. Ask the Lord. Let the Lord in. Let the Lord Jesus into the area that has you thinking what he has made is not fearfully and wonderfully made. Cry out to the Lord. That's all I have for you today. As always, if you have a question, ask a question, and I'll see you in the next video.